Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't mind the shades, my eyes are hurting right now. Anyway guys, so in this video I will be sharing my extension journey in Georgetown, Guyana. So obviously when I moved here, I have I had to extend my stay because I had to see about documents and everything. So this is where the extension of stay comes in. So I will be sharing my process with you here, and these are just different timings when I decided to record on what was going on and what I went through and everything. So come along with me in my journey right after this intro. Basically, the first time I heard about it was from someone that my husband knew, and I actually didn't know fully well how to go about doing it or anything until way later down. So we actually decided to do it like, actually my time was actually up, and I was like, we were like, what do we do? What do we go and do to extend my time here or whatever? And I was actually looking up all over online to see what are all the requirements and what I have to do to be able to do this. And it was so hard because one place was saying one thing, the other place was saying a whole other thing. Then another place was saying another thing. And I felt like everything was just all over the place. So I decided to get help from a person who actually told us about it. So when we finally decided to get help from the person who told us about it, the person carried me, and I went, and the first thing they did was give me a form. They told me to fill it out, to follow all of the instructions behind, and so let me show you the form right now. So this is the form right here. I will put up a actual picture so you can see what it really looks like, and all the information. So I will tell you about the information right now. So on the form, it have the passport photo you have to put here, and on top the instructions to applicant. So this form is actually for a visitor's visa. It's for visitor's visa or extension of stay. So this one, because I came from a country where you don't need a visa to come to Guyana, I had to go with this one only because it says extension of stay. Because this is the only form that has extension of stay for when you're a visitor, right? It also have forms for extension of stay for if you're doing business, if you're a student, if you're, what's the other one? If you're working and have work permit and all of these things. But I was just a visitor, so I went with this one because it says extension of stay for visitors. So this one, the instruction said that number one, you are required to complete form in block capitals. 2, you are required to complete all sections of the application and affix your signature. Failure to do so will affect the processing of application. 3, take a moment to read the section on page 2. So the section on page 2, I actually have it written right here. The section on page 2 basically just says that for the extension of stay, you must have these attachments to this form. These documents must be attached to this form, which are your marriage certificate if you are married, marriage certificate if you are married to a Guyanese or otherwise, copy of passport, all entry stamps, plus the front page. The front page is the one with your picture. It's the rain. The front page is the one with your picture and everything, and then you have to put, like, you have to print out every single page that has stamp on it. I don't know why they want every single page, because some pages wouldn't apply to Guyana, but I guess they want to know your travel history, how you travel, whatever and whatever. Right? So I'm actually watching outside right now because it is pouring buckets of rain. It's raining so much. Yeah, so every single entry stamps or in your passport plus the front page, they want you to copy and attach it to this form as well. Next is your spouse birth certificate. So I think this is only referring to if your spouse is a Guyanese. That's the only reason they would want it, to prove that your spouse is of the country, is the nationality of the country. I don't know how you want to put it, but that is how I would put it. And then this one is the one that used to annoy me. The last one is a letter addressed to the Head Immigration Support Services, Ministry of Home Affairs, requesting extension of stay. So in this letter, you must put where you're staying, you must put how you would be financially equipped to stay in Guyana while you're staying, how you would be able to afford to stay in Guyana while you're here. I guess some people just come and just try to live off of other people or live off of the government. But personally, I don't see why I should live off of the government, because I'm not a Guyanese, so I don't see this. Although my husband is Guyanese, I don't see the sense in living off of the government, because you're your own person and you're supposed to live off of you and your family. And it's not all the time you will get, like, different places have grants and different things you can get from the government, but I don't see myself going to the government of another country to ask them for help and for money and for this and for that, because that is taken away from a citizen of the country. So I don't see the sense in taking that away from somebody else who really need it and who obviously would need it more than I do. I don't really need help, but apparently some people does want to take advantage and come over and beg the government for help, beg the government for food, say they have a child, they want to feed their child, all of these things. But I don't see myself doing that. Yeah, so this is the form I have here. And those were the other attaching documents you have to put with this form. So let me tell you what the form, what you have to fill out on this particular form. So on this particular form, you have to put your first, middle, and surname. You have to put your sex, if you're male or female. You have to put date of birth, marital status, nationality, passport number, issue date of the passport, expiry date of the passport, local address or hotel, that's a place you would be staying, purpose of visit, whether you're visiting to go to a wedding, whether you're visiting just to visit to see the sights, whether you're visiting just to visit family, whatever the case may be, right? And then the next thing, embassy or consulate where visa was granted if applicable. This embassy or consulate where visa was granted if applicable, that doesn't apply to me because I don't need a visa to come over, so I don't need to fill out that part. Date of entry in Guyana, duration of stay approved on arrival. So most of the time you would get 6 months if you're coming from a country that you don't need visa to come into here. You would normally get 6 months. And when that 6 months up, you have to, I think they say you should start the extension of stay 1 month before your passport time is up, because they said that when you carry in your form and all of these documents for the extension of stay, they actually process it for 1 month. I see the updated version, and the updated version says that they process it for 1 month. Then after that 1 month, you get the actual slip and everything, and then you take that to the office where you get your passport stamp. They stamp it for you, and then you get your extended stay. So my first extended stay, they gave me like 3 months. I don't know if every single person will get that, but apparently I got 3 months extended stay. So, but for this second extended stay, I actually started the process 1 month before my time was up, and up to now I still haven't gotten it, but hopefully I can get it now because I want to be able to leave the country. This video will be coming out way later down when I get everything in order and get my extension and get everything. But I'm doing the second one to leave the country because I find it was taking so long, and I find that it don't make sense just waiting and going back, and then they keep saying, 1 minute they would say, this is expired, do it over. So I would do it over and go back, come back, and it would still take long. And the thing is, when you carry in these forms, you have to actually wait, and then they would bring something to you saying that you have to pay so and so, and then you would pay the amount, and then you will get a receipt and with a paper. Do I have the paper? I have the paper somewhere here, but you actually get back, let's see. I don't want to show you it because it has some of my information on it, but it's actually, you actually get a receipt and it says it have a stamp with paid and specific stamp with paid, and the receipt actually have the crest of Guyana, and you get the number on the receipt and they tell you how much you pay. So for my extension of stay, I only pay like 5,125, but for the longest period of extension of stay, you have to pay way more. Like one of them is 28,000 something Guyanese, and then some of the others are 100 and something thousand and all of these things. So I basically just keep going with this same one because it is cheaper, and I don't want to go and pay 28,000 something dollars for them to tell me that your documents lost, or I have to do it over, because then I would be wasting money if I look to pay if I look to pay 28,000 and something, and then you go in, they tell you it lost, then they want you to do it over and you have to pay that same amount again. That makes no sense to me. So I just stick to this cheap one. The cheapest one is 5,125, and you do up the form, and you go in with the form, and you pay this when they come out with the form again, and you get a receipt to show that you paid for it as well. So this was my last one, and the last time we went in, they said that this is expired and I have to do it over again. So I think I will be copying this. I will be copying this particular form or this particular thing here, and I will attach it to my new document that I am carrying in again. I don't want to carry in this one because next thing they say that they lost it and all of these things, and then I wouldn't have proof. Then I wouldn't have proper proof that I was going through the process and they said to do it over. So with these things over here, you have to be prepared. You have to have all of your documents in order. So next, on the date of last extension, if applicable. So because I got my first extension, this is applicable to me, so I have to fill out the last date of extension that I got, and then telephone number, then you put your number, your fax number if you have a fax number. I don't have any fax number. And then you put your email address. I don't know why they want you to put email address if they don't ever email you as to if your document is ready. And then the problem I really have is when you're calling, you would call and no one would pick up. When they finally pick up and you ask them questions, most of them don't know the answer to the question. So most of the time, some type of manager or someone have to come and talk to you and answer your call. But most of the but what I'm grateful for, at least they are very nice. They don't correct you or buff you up or anything on the phone. They are very nice on the phone. They talk to you nice, but most of the time their response would be to just do over the whole application if it is They keep saying it's not ready or whatever. Then the next part of this form, it have part A, part B, and part C. That was part A, so I'm on part B now, the sponsor information. So the sponsor information could either be your information or the sponsor information could either be your information or whoever else is sponsoring you. Or your husband can do it up for you and say he's the sponsor. But I actually just do it myself because, like, come on. It's easier that way because he don't have time to be going back and forth with these people, because personally I think these people are just be wasting your time, and they don't realize that people have things to do, people have work to do. So I think that you should just be your own sponsor. I don't know why they want to know fully how much money you make and all kind of thing. Personally, I don't think they need to know how much money you make. But other than that, I don't know what they would need to know that you are financially stable to be able to do this. So, so I'm my own sponsor. You can be your own sponsor as well, or you can let your husband be your sponsor, or whoever you're going to stay by in Guyana. So for the sponsors part, you have to put your name, your address, your relationship of sponsor to applicant, telephone number, fax number, or email address. Then part C, spouse and children in Guyana, if not Guyanese. So if it is you come with your spouse or your children, or I don't know, your brother or your sister or your family, and none of them is Guyanese, you have to fill out this part. So it says name of spouse, occupation of spouse, names of children, other family name. Note: a separate application form is to be submitted for spouse or other adult relatives. Wow. So this don't apply to me because I am with my husband. My husband is Guyanese, so this do not apply to me. If my husband was Trinidadian like me, then it would apply, but it doesn't apply right now. Then it have the declaration. The declaration says, I hereby declare that the information provided by me is true and correct. Signature of applicant or sponsor and date. Wow. Also, you have to put your passport photo right here. So this is the form. It's pretty straightforward, but every time you go in with every single document, it is so hard to get through with this thing. Like the first time I went with this, we actually came back so much time that I just got fed up, and I let my husband carry it and be my sponsor and whatever. And I got through faster that time. And my husband actually had to ball up at these people because they were making no sense in that office. And the other thing is, it had so many people in the office. Everybody is getting frustrated. They keep telling people to come back next week. And every time the people come back next week, their information on the paper is not ready. So I don't know what they are doing, but it's just horrible. And then and then when and I would say it's not the receptionist's fault. I would say I would not want to be those receptionists because the people in the back is the ones who are doing madness, who are not following protocol, who are not doing their job properly, and then they want to give it to the receptionist, and then the receptionist have to deal with the persons in front, and I sure the receptionist and them are feeling it, because I would say that because someone who works there actually put out a statement online stating that exactly what does be going on in there and what these people are doing. So apparently, they are taking bribes. They are making persons documents and everything take long so that they can pay to get it done faster. A lot of time when people start to quarrel with them or ball up at them, they would take that person's document and want to put it on the bottom of the pile and all kind of craziness. Like, why would you want to do that in the workplace? Why would you want to do that to people? People would get frustrated if you guys are keep doing these things to them. It's just a simple government office. All you have to do is either you get through or you didn't get through. I don't know why they keep telling you to come back, come back, come back. Just tell the person if they got through, and then if they didn't get through. If they didn't get through, they could at least give them a note or something stating why they didn't get through. The higher-ups could put a note on that specific thing, because it is the higher-ups who have to read this letter, right? And if the person haven't gotten through, all they have to put is put a stamp saying decline, put something, and show that the person did not get through, because everybody knows that you would either get through or you wouldn't get through for some reason. And also put the reason why they didn't get through. These people, it's just craziness in that office. I'm actually glad they moved the office. I don't know where the office is, because ever since they moved the office, my husband was the one going to see about this, and every time they keep saying it's not ready. So, and then the last time he went, they said to do it over because it's outdated. So I guess I have to do it over now. I already printed all the documents that I need to put with this to do it over. I have to fill out this form and do everything in accordance. And also, I was to say, you can also fill out the form online, but the only problem with filling out the form online is that they ask you for the payment part, and I don't have a payment part. Like, my husband support me. What should I put for that? Like, should I put housewife? Housewife, that is how I get supported by my husband. Like, seriously. I have to realize that some women decide to be housewives and they actually just get money from their husband. In other words, their husband provide for them Yeah. And I don't know if people know, but housewife is a job. If if a husband was to do the full work that a housewife would do, and a housewife work is never ending from morning straight down to night when you're going to sleep. That's your work. And then when you're going to work out in an office or wherever, that's like a certain time to a certain time. That's way less time than what your wife is working for. So I don't know why people keep thinking housewife is not a job. It is a job. And then worse, and then I wouldn't say worse yet, because children is a blessing. When you get children, it's more work, but it's a blessing to be able to raise your children and have them in a specific way. Okay, so this is the form. I'm going to fill it out now and put together my information to be able to do it. And yeah, so I guess I will be back on this video to tell you guys how it went and what happened when I did this. But this time I should be able to get through, because I want to be able to leave the country and come back and update my passport. So hopefully this gets through fast, because I want to be able to do this quick and come back so I can see about some other documents finally. And then and also I am on a time crunch, because I already talked about how I want to be I will be moving soon, so I am completely on a full out time crunch for this. So I have to get everything in order very, very fast. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video was educational for you. If you want the form, I think I will put the link down below, so you can click the link and just download the form or print it from there or whatever. But I will put the form for the visitor's visa extension of stay, because I didn't do the other extension of stays or anything like that. But the other extension of stays are actually a longer process, but this extension of stay is pretty short and pretty quick and pretty fast forward. I will be sharing my journey with you on what happened and what I did to be able to get all of my documents and everything in order while being married to a Guyanese. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was educational for you. I hope I helped you out a little at least, so that you can be able to do this process. Just follow exactly what the form says and you would get through faster. And when you go in, don't be like roughing up the people too much, because at the end of the day, it's the higher ups that are doing it at these things, and not the receptionist. The receptionist is having a hard time as well. So please don't be angry with her or him or whoever it might be, and take it easy on them. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye guys. Peace. This is a follow-up of the extension video that I was telling you about. So in the first part of the video, I talked about the visitor's visa extension, and I had someone carrying that, dropping that for me, and in return, I got this document which you will see on the screen. When I got that document, it basically states that from this day, count 10 working days, and then you will, and then on the 10th working day, you will come in. Actually, instead of going in, now you can actually call, and their phone lines are actually different now, because before it just used to ring, 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 but now persons answer the call. The number I call is the second number you see on the paper, and when I call that number, I got a response very fast. Actually, it went to, like, you know how you have to like pick different extensions or whatever. So yeah, so it said it said what the different extensions are, and then my extension was 8 because it had to do with picking up or receiving my extension, because I already went through the first step. So the second step, this, when I called and I clicked the number 8 for the extension, they said that I would be able to go tomorrow and pick it up tomorrow, which is today. Today is Tuesday the 20th. Tuesday the 5th. Let me see just now. Anyway, they said to pick it up today, so I went out today to pick it up. Obviously, I didn't know where to go, because since they changed locations, my husband would normally go and see about it, but this time I had to go and see about it. So I went, and someone came with me and showed me where to go and everything. So I will go to the building, the address that they say to go to on the letter, and then when I went to this address now, you pass through security, which is a normal thing. Pass through security, you give them ID, then you go to you walk down and you go in the first corridor you see. When you go in there now, you have to talk to the security and tell the security what you are there for. So obviously I was there to pick up my extension. So I said that, and I was told to wait, and finally the security allowed me to go and hand in my document to the secretary in the office, and then the secretary asked me to wait outside. So I waited outside and sitting down outside in the waiting hall area, right? So after doing that waiting there now, it didn't even take all that long. We didn't really sit down there all that long either. So I got through pretty fast. Then the person came downstairs. So everything is done upstairs, and the bottom is like secretary and other different offices, right? So everything is done upstairs, and the person came downstairs and they called my name and I answered. They came to me and they asked for my ID, or actually they asked for my passport, and they put down my information on a book to show that I picked it up and everything like that. And then I had to sign the book as well. So I did that, and after that now I was handed this letter information, okay? And this is actually the same receipt that was on the last one. So this is actually the third step. So the first step was filling out the forms and carrying it in. Then you would get that, the second step. Then the second step you would carry in that, and then you would end up with this. And then, which is the third step. And after this third step though, so basically it just tells you like, it basically just talks about the approval of your extension, how long you will be granted to stay in Guyana for, and but once you do the second extension with the visitor's visa, you actually have to, when that extension is almost up, you do have to, you can either wait for to leave the country before it is up, or you can wait like 2 days before it is up and leave the country. Because after this extension with the visitor's visa, there is no other set of extension. You would automatically have to just leave the country. And the reason why it is good to leave before the extension is up is because, or right before the extension is up, is because you don't want to give yourself a bad name as to, so that when other countries see in your passport, sometimes they would check through your passport to see your like places you have visited, if you have overstayed and all of these things. So that is not a good look on you if you are traveling on different things. So you got to follow up on these things and stay within your time, or you can actually just leave the country before your passport time is up and then come back to the country, whichever one works for you. If you do it that way, just leave the country before your time is up in the country from when you came. If you do it that way, you won't have to go through any sort of extensions or anything like that. So the only reason I went through extension is because I am married to a Guyanese and I am trying to get my paperwork in order to be able to get legal citizenship, to be able to work properly, to be able to open businesses and all of these things, to be able to own houses, all of these things. So it's better to go through the legal way and do all of this. So, and also other than telling you how long you have to stay, so on my first extension I got like approximately 3 months, and on this one it looked like I got 4 months to go again. And yeah, and then in the bottom of the letter it states where you have to go to stamp your passport. So this is just an approval letter to go to the immigration area. To go to the immigration officers to be able to actually get the stamp on your passport. The stamp is the most important part. So you just carry this. So I went there today, but I did not know the full extent of what I'm supposed to do, because the last time I get this, my husband had seen about it, and I didn't know where to go or what to do or anything. So I spent a long time asking every minute, where should I go to do this? Where should I go to do this? And then finally, they sent me an area, so I waited a little, and then I got up. I didn't want to stay too long, so I got up and went and asked a question. Then I was sent to a specific door, so I knocked and they said the next door. And then when I finally knocked and somebody finally came out, I asked them, where do I go to get the stamp or whatever? and then the lady said right now it is closed off. So apparently you have to go to this next step is actually the fourth step, what that I'm going to talk about. This last step, which is the fourth step, you have to go to the office of the Deputy Chief Immigration Officer. That's on Camp Road, Georgetown. So, when you go to that office now, I know where I have to go now. So when you go to that office now, they will give you directions as to where to go. But when you're going with this letter, the lady said that when you're going to get your passport with a stamp for the extension, you have to go with a copy of this letter, plus you have to go with this original letter, plus you have to go with your passport. I can't remember if she said you have to copy your passport as well. But just in case, I think I will copy my passport as well. And then when you go there, you actually get this form. So the thing about this form, I haven't read the form yet. She said that I have to fill out the form for when I go back. But I haven't read the form yet because I basically just came back about probably an hour ago. So, okay, anyway, moving on. So later on that week, I actually did not go the very next day. I went later down in that week and to be able to get my passport stamped, right? So I literally left home probably about around 6:30 or 7 o'clock or something, so because they said you have to hand it in at 9 o'clock. So I made sure and reached there very early, and we went down and so when I reached there, it had a line outside. So basically before the offices and everything open up, they actually have a line like to set up persons wherever they need to go. And when I went in the line, I actually waited in the line. It didn't even take that much time because it was actually moving along and moving fast. So when I finally reached up, the lady checked my information and I told her, she asked me what I came to do, and I told her that I came to get an extension, the stamp for my passport for the extension, and she said to go and sit over on that side because she was putting everybody for extension on that side, right? So everybody was waiting, we were waiting. Then all of a sudden I realized it is 9 o'clock and they didn't call us yet. Then 9:01 they finally called us and said extension, go ahead in. And then everybody else like that was talking and wasn't paying attention. So I say extension loud, and same time I stand up, and then everybody heard, and then everybody started head to where we have to go. So when we started to head there now, a lot of them did not know where to go, and only me and the next young lady knew where to go. So when the immigration lady pointed for them to go that way, they wasn't sure because it had a line to go to something else there as well, plus it had a door. So they thought they had to go in the line. So when I saw they stand up in the line, I said, come, is this way. So I walked in front. The other young lady just went straight up and saying about herself and stuff. So after that, everybody started following me to see where we going. So then we went into the room, into the area, the hallway or wherever, and it have chairs and different things to sit there. So everybody sat there in order how they came in. I was second in line, the other young lady was first, and then a little while after, someone went and tell the guy that it have so and so amount of persons. So when they told him that, a little while after, he came out with the forms in hand, the same form I got from the lady the earlier that week. Yes, that form. So I already had my form, I filled it out already, and he handed out whoever did not have it, and they filled out their form. So a little while after now, he said he called for everyone to come in one by one. So she went in first, then I went in. When I went in, he asked me what I came for, and apparently you do different stuff, get different stuff done there. So I said I came for the extension stamp, so I gave him the letter, the official letter, and I gave him my passport, and then he asked me for the form. I gave him the form that I filled out. So after that, now he then said that I have to come back. He then said I have to come back 4 o'clock that evening. So everybody had to come back 4 o'clock that evening so that they can do all the official work and get the stamp and everything. So I did not want to go home because I just got fed up of the process of going home, coming back, going home, coming back. So I just stayed there whole day. It had band practice or something there, so I just stayed around, listened to that. It had food selling outside, so I stick around. I ate breakfast, I ate lunch, and then I stick around. Then 3 something reached, and around 3 something the young lady reached back. Same time I was going in, she was going in as well. So she sat there, I sat there, and we actually waited, and then a whole lot of other persons started to come in to collect their passport as well. So eventually the man opened the door, and he said the same thing, one by one. So whoever came first would go first. So the young lady went in, then I went in. When I went in now, he just asked me to sign my name in the big book. I signed my name, then he took the stamp, he stamped it right there and then and handed it to me. And then I took my passport, and that was the end of it, guys. I finally got my passport stamped after so long. Oh my gosh. And that was the second extension. Yeah, guys. So okay, guys, so that was my journey of getting 2 extensions of stay. It was long, it was hectic, but it was worth it. And yes, because I was able to get these 2 extensions, I will tell you in the next video what I was able to get afterwards, after moving to Latam. Yeah, guys, so that was my journey through getting an extension. I will tell you a little bit of what the stamp in the passport says, but I will not show you. I will just tell you the general details and yeah, so you can know. Okay, guys, so on the passport stamp, it actually shows like the date you officially entered Guyana before all the extensions. Then it says extended to the date that the date of the next extension. So it was extended to, mine was extended to the 5th of January, March, April, the 4th of May, right? Okay, Obviously that already gone, but yeah, it was extended to that date. And I so basically it is also saying that you're not allowed to sign up for any type of work or anything while you're on this extended stay in the country, because you did not sign up for because I did not sign up for work permit, so I'm not permitted to work. So if it is, this is my only ID and I have to show this to go and work for somebody, the stamp literally says I'm not allowed to work. So yeah, that is how official it is. And then it also like have the immigration officer signature as well. So that's basically it. Yes. Yeah, guys. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.